Folks are always wondering about vacuum tubes and how they sound different. There's a million different reviews on the internet, and I just thought I'd do my review. I just tried all of these JJ vacuum tubes out. There are 4 different types that they offer, and I compared them to a vintage RCA 7025 short gray plate. They're all brand new except for the RCA, and they're all being played through a 67 Pro Reverb. I just swapped them out in the V2 position, and what I found was the ECC83S, which is their cheapest one. It felt a little bit fuller in the low mids. I said less transient response, less snappy in the upper mids, a little slower, a little warmer. The ECC83MG, that is a medium long plate, whereas this is a short plate, this is a short plate. The MG is kind of a medium length plate. I said a little less low mids than the previous tube, but it was tighter, lots of transient snap. It had a quackiness to it, a nice kind of Telecaster quack. Somebody who chicken picks would probably like that in the upper mids. It had a lot more high end to it as well. The ECC803S, that is a long plate version. I'm familiar with the old RCA long gray plates. This kind of looks similar to that. I said more low mids than the MG, but it had good tight low punch. The thing I noticed the most was it had like a subdued mid-range, but at the same time it had more sparkly, airy highs than the other. So if you're looking for, sorry, got loud cars going by. If you're looking for something that's a little more scooped, then that would be the tube you'd want. If you want something that's a little high mid-forward and cuts, you might want that MG. And then the most expensive tube they offer is the E83CC, and I said it's kind of neutral, balanced. It has everything, but I don't know, it was a little bit boring to me, a bit uninspiring. I know those are subjective terms. It lacks low-mid punch, and it lacks some of those sparkly highs up top. It was a little bit more like the ECC83S. But without as much low end. It didn't have that cut in the mid. You know, when you hit the pick and you hit those kind of middle and high strings and you want to feel it when you respond, the MG really has that. The E83CC didn't really have that. The 83S had even less than that. The 803 was somewhere between. These were the 2 I liked the most for different reasons. When I plugged in the RCA 7025, I would say that it lives between these 2 somewhere. In fact, the high end of the 7025 RCA reminded me of the MG, and the low end kind of reminded me of the 803S. So you've got a few good options there. None of the tubes sounded bad. I think if anybody ever bashes JJ tubes and say they sound awful, that's just not something that I felt at all. I felt like they were all good, and it's just like using vintage tubes. You know, the Telefunkens sound different from the RCA long gray plates, from the short gray plates. You know, they all just, or the black plates, they all have different sounds, and pairing them up with the amplifiers that you're working with and the speakers that you have too, and your style of playing and your genre, you know, you just have to decide what works for you. But these were the distinct differences I heard. I'm not going to make a video or anything demonstrating it so you can hear it. You'll just have to take my word for it. And my word is worth what you pay for it. So everybody have a good day.